Did the Miami Dolphins just dodge a bullet, or did they miss out on a generational talent that could have changed the course of their franchise? The NFL world exploded on Thursday with the blockbuster trade everyone was anticipating, but perhaps not in the way anyone expected. Micah Parsons, the Pro Bowl pass rusher who has terrorized quarterbacks across the league, is heading to the Green Bay Packers. And while Dolphins fans can breathe a collective sigh of relief that he's staying out of the AFC East, there's an undeniable pang of what if that lingers, a ghost from a past draft decision that continues to haunt South Beach. Let's break down this seismic move. The Dallas Cowboys sent Parsons to the Packers in exchange for 2 first-round draft picks and defensive tackle Kenny Clark. For those keeping score at home, that's essentially 2 first-rounders plus a player equivalent to Miami's own Zach Sealer, or Kenneth Grant. That's a king's ransom, a testament to Parsons' elite talent and game-wrecking ability. And the good news for Miami is that this absolute force of nature will not be lining up against Tua Tagovailoa twice a year. But here's where the relief quickly turns to regret for Dolphins faithful. This trade, and Parsons' continued dominance, forces us to revisit the infamous 2021 NFL Draft. Remember that year? Miami had 2 first-round picks, a treasure trove of capital that was supposed to redefine the franchise. They ended up with Jevon Holland in the second round, who is now gone. Jalen Phillips, another first-rounder, has missed significant time due to injuries. Liam Eichenberg has been a consistent disappointment on the offensive line. And Jaylen Waddle, while immensely talented, is still striving to prove he can be a true number 1 receiver. Now let's talk about the elephant in the draft room, Micah Parsons. Back in 2021, after making a trade with the 49ers to move down in the draft order, there was widespread expectation that Miami would select Parsons. Instead, they passed. They passed on Parsons. They passed on Jamar Chase. They passed on Penei Sewell. In those early first-round trades, the Dolphins chose a different path, one that has led to a lot of second-guessing. Imagine for a moment if Miami had pulled the trigger on Parsons. Where would this team be right now? They could be paying a premium. For a top-tier linebacker, yes, but they could also be reaping the rewards of his unparalleled impact. Or, knowing Chris Greer's penchant for making moves, they might have even capitalized on Parsons' value and traded him for an even bigger haul, potentially setting up the franchise for years to come. The possibilities are endless, and each one makes the decision to pass on him sting a little more. The speculation around Parsons joining an AFC East rival was very real. Reports last week indicated that both the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots had expressed interest and potentially even contacted Dallas. And honestly, it made perfect sense. The Bills, perpetually knocking on the door of a Super Bowl, are in their championship window, but it won't stay open forever. Adding Joey Bosa earlier in the offseason was a significant defensive upgrade, but pairing him with Parsons would have created an absolutely terrifying pass-rushing duo, a nightmare for any opposing quarterback, including Tua. That would have been a formidable challenge for the Dolphins' offense to contend with twice a year, a constant threat to disrupt their rhythm and pressure Tagovailoa. In New England, the Patriots are embarking on a new era under a new coach, with a younger roster and significant cap space. Parsons would have been a foundational piece for their defense, accelerating their rebuild and giving them an immediate identity. For the Dolphins, facing Parsons in a Patriots uniform would have meant a revitalized rivalry with an even more dangerous opponent. In both scenarios, Parsons would have made those AFC East teams significantly better. Would it have guaranteed them a Super Bowl? Maybe not. But it certainly would have made their path through the division and their playoff aspirations much clearer. And for Miami, it would have meant 2 brutal matchups every season against one of the most dominant defensive players in the league. So, while the initial reaction for Dolphins fans is undoubtedly a sigh of relief that Parsons is heading to the NFC, there's also that nagging feeling of what could have been. Miami never truly seemed to be in the running for Parsons in this trade, lacking the cap space and reportedly unwilling to part with the necessary draft capital this year. He would have been an incredible addition to Anthony Weaver's defense, a true centerpiece around which to build. But alas, that 2021 draft is in the rearview mirror, and the predictions of Parsons terrorizing the AFC East have been laid to rest. Dolphins fans can at least take solace in the fact that they won't have to face him twice a year, knowing that the threat of his dominant presence will be confined to the NFC. This trade serves as a stark reminder of how critical draft decisions are and how they can shape a franchise's destiny for years to come. While the Dolphins have made some exciting moves since 2021, the shadow of passing on a player like Micah Parsons will likely continue to loom large, a constant what-if in the minds of fans and analysts alike. What do you think, Dolphins Nation? Is the relief of Parsons leaving the AFC East enough to outweigh the lingering regret of passing on him in the 2021 draft? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth Dolphins analysis.